Hey guys, how's it going? Quick update for you. I'm going to try and make this as brief as possible because it seems like every time I get to the end of the video I've messed up, and I've tried this about 8 times already. So I'm getting a little frustrated, but that's on me, guys. That's not your problem, that's mine. This is a burnt out LCD screen, so don't worry about the terrible soldering or desoldering job I did. It went bad because I messed up something, and I learned from that mistake. But it's going to showcase the new gauge box. This is going to be the first of a few parts for the trap that I have designed. And if you want access to those files, I have a listing over on pinshape.com where you can purchase the files, the STL files, for the proton pack, the thrower, and the trap. You can download them all at one shot. It's $40. Pinshape gets 10 of that. I get 30. So if you feel like, throwing a few coins my way, no pressure. If you have a friend that's already downloaded these, this is my consent, right? I don't really have a problem with people sharing the files. If you've bought the files and you want to share the files, it is the internet. I can't stop you from doing that, right? You have my blessing. But here is the new gauge box and for the trap. Now dimensionally it's still the same size, right? It's still the same outside size. The only difference is that it has been slightly redesigned for this 0.96 inch I squared C LCD device. And I discovered these while messing around with Count Damonet's PKE meter, Arduino PKE meter, which you can find on Thingiverse. So, the idea is you take the LCD, you carefully separate the double-sided tape that holds the backlight to the PCB. The PCB, you might want to use like a very low heat hot air gun or some acetone to kind of break the glue bonds. If you're going to use acetone, I recommend taping everything up with Kapton tape when it's done, because some of the solder mask might get eaten away. So acetone is pretty risky. I mean, you want to carefully the idea is you want to carefully remove the LCD from the back plate, the back PCB. So inside the gauge box is this recess, and I know I'm going to mess this up because I only have one hand to work with, but you drop it in there and it lines up with the thing, with the inside of the guide. And it doesn't slide around at all. Like, it's a perfect fit once you get it all squared away. Then you tape it down or glue it down or whatever you have to do, and it looks like this. I do have to do a minor redesign to get the bottom of the ribbon covered up, so that's no longer visible. It's about 5 millimeters, so it's it's really easy to just go in and drag that up. And the idea is that there'll be a plug or something that I'll design to go into the back of this, because there's still about this much space, about where the end of my thumb is, that's exposed out in the back, and that's going to be filled up with just a little plug that holds an LED in here, or some NeoPixels or something, to just kind of like cover this up. It'll just be a solid light. I haven't figured out lighting colors or anything yet, but it'll just sit in there and fill that up, and then it'll create a negative space, or not a negative space, but it'll create a block that kind of fills in the rest of the trap, so you don't actually see any components that you don't want to be showing off. But that's it. If you want to download the files on Pinshape now, you may get a hold of me on Oddity Toys Facebook page, and I will send you the updated trap parts. I'll just send you the parts that you need, so you won't have to worry about firing off the parts that you already have. But it's just going to be a few minor parts. There's going to be a mounting position for an Arduino Pro Mini, for some or an Arduino Nano, or some other small form factor Arduino board. There's going to be a mounting spot for some of these 9G micro servos, and an area for like a 9-volt battery or something to kind of power everything. So that's where we're sitting now. I am terrible at learning programming. I'm not a programmer. So with that being said, my last update, the second to last update for this video is going to be I'm looking to commission someone to put out an open source Arduino code for the Proton Pack. If you would like to help me, I will pay for it. That's not a problem. I'm not looking to get a freebie. If you would like me to include the Proton Pack files in addition to some payment, just let me know what your PayPal is, and I'll wire you like whatever we agree on to code the Proton Pack. I know it is not an easy task. I know it is a time-consuming task. I am just terrible at it. So if you want to help me code it, again, you can hit me up on the Oddity Toys Facebook page, and we'll go from there. I'm also rewiring my Proton Pack as it is. So when I finally do get the proper electronics installed, I'm using this 18-gauge wire on these 9-pin microphone connectors, and it's going to be very interesting to see how everything comes together. I've already decided to completely redo the way that everything's wired, so it's not all going to be tied to the Arduino. There's going to be some actual functions that I'll show off to you guys when I figure it out. But I already know that the power switch is going to go to, I've got one of these big 12-volt battery packs. There's going to be an interrupt between this plug and the rest of the pack. It's going to be where you connect it in, and then you've got one of these style plugs that goes out, or maybe vice versa. I haven't figured it out yet. To kind of because there is a switch on here, so this needs to be turned on at all times. But in order to use everything else, there's that giant, enormous switch on the actual thrower that's going to turn everything else on. That's going to power on the Arduino. That's going to, set everything else off. So I've already got that figured out. I already know what I'm doing with that. But in terms of other wiring, I haven't figured anything else out yet. I know this has been a long video. I'm sorry. I'm going to bow out now. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have any thoughts, anything that you would like to see added, or if you have any questions on the time frame for other projects, if you want to see me do other projects more frequently, leave those comments down below. Hit a like, hit the dislike. You guys know what to do at this point. So until then, until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on busting.